we've got coming through the support system.
Okay,
so
we got Vitality on
this
defense, we got Apex on attack.
With the highest amount of assists received.
And
so not the person
it is actually 1-1 for the
assists,
Pistols because they managed to
someone
steal
who
the
is
pistol
being
with a
assisted the
2v4.
most. So clearly shows that,
I like the
as
change up
always,
from
for
Vitality in
Arsenal,
this
it's going
map.
to be that
I
focal
think
point.
the Neon is gonna
clearly,
be good
the
against
likes of
this.
Molsey,
Mess up a lot of their timings. You can beat a lot of their util.
Especially Molsey, and you look at a map like
You
this.
have the
Obviously,
wall
his
to
deadlock
actually.
last map, some good ideas,
Oh
but the
my goodness.
execution perhaps leaving them wanting at times. He's the one to execute Durka to start this off, and on the breach, I think he brings so much value. You will see it as this map
Interesting
goes
that
on.
they
For
opt
now,
for the
you'll see a man
wall
advantage for Apex.
that is all the way back here.
Last map about the
So it doesn't leak over towards
having
site.
that early aggro
But
to
it gives
push
you
all
this
the way
extra
towards
area
your
to hide in
opponent's
if they
spawn.
want to
They're
push.
gonna look to put
Like
Durka
they
in
did.
positions to just out-duel their opponents. Something I expect to see throughout the
Expected push. It
Even though
did
it's
kind of
so
look like
spaced
it.
out.
They're at least ready for
Utilizing
it.
the doors, selling rotations, but Vitality have not given up this A position at all.
Yeah, no, still very much in position. We can see both of those players floating about, and it's the stun held by Kicks that could do mass damage, with Sevov being the one to swing off of
That's
it.
paranoia
The
as
wall
well.
Big
goes
stun.
down. The players are spotted. The stun is
big
perfect.
stun.
Salvos fired in, and no chance to reaggress. Time running down. They try
Yeah,
to take space on C.
and the
but
backup
Les
plan is
of
go over
course
towards B, and
still
we've already got
waiting.
2
He
here
gets
from
himself an
Vitality.
upgrade.
They can get
Now
the
moving
wall
back
up
to
as
the B
well.
site, but wall is up. They have to walk right through it, and Safe is the one waiting for them. Doesn't quite dodge the flash.
Oh my god, nice shots though. Keep an eye on the
This is
HP.
looking dangerous.
Dude,
Three
dude,
ways with
what
the
just
finish it
happened?
off. Apex
First
will
of all,
take the pistol
how has
round.
Floor got 3?
What was that?
And
I always
then,
wanna say
how have we
gunman
won a
in sort of
1v1
an
with a
English accent,
knife?
and you know the man's bringing a knife to a fight. It really does feel like he's from my hometown in this one.
I need the last 10 minutes or 10 seconds replayed.
Started very well, but honestly, it looked like it was going to be firmly
Oof.
in the favor of
Second
Vitality.
shot was really
up
nice.
until the point
Oh
where
my
Fluorescent manages
goodness.
to get 3 picks within a matter of seconds. A solid win in the early
Okay, 2-1
round,
on the
but
Pistols.
this is only the start. It's also worth mentioning, when you go back to victories, at least for the side of Vitality, their attack side was where they really thrived.
Very important for Apex to build up those rounds on this attacking half as a result. And well, this one gifted the opening pick onto Durka, and then quite the battle. I mean, Fluorescent put in some work.
Reaper, thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate the 3 months as well.
Flashy finish from Governor as well, and a narrow margin, but a
Gonna go
leg
Teo
up
instead
to
of
the
Silver.
attackers. Starting this out,
For the
Vitality
game
decided
before,
to go for a very,
might be
very
a
weak
personal
investment.
preference
It's
thing.
classics and a ghost. No force buyback, no confidence.
might be an
stance
info
early
thing that
on.
they
They'll
feel like they have
respect
no
the early
info, so
lead
they want
from Apex.
Silver
I'll give
Recon
them
to come
props
up
for
every
that.
so often.
Curious to see how this progresses, though, towards the C site. Less, even with just a ghost and his utility to play around, could still be quite the menace. I don't think he bought the poison orb here, though, so it should be that little bit easier to walk it down.
Yeah, they clear all of the left sides. Still
That's
check it
always-
anyway, just in case.
Completely out of the action, maybe hoping a few spam shots
People are hit pretty early.
from the Ghost can do some damage. Instead, it's Durka to take that aggressive positioning. That's has already managed to find a second.
He's
I
doing
don't know how his Ghost
insane
is already
damage.
doing this much damage, but definitely making things dangerous. Bear in mind, the main goal is
Dude,
to hold
look
on
at
to
the
those
time.
rifles at least at a minimum. But with 12 seconds left, somehow this looks possible. An easy kill onto Safe leaves Sevo alone. Again, another drop. This is starting to get
Oh
very
my
scary.
god.
This man is ever dangerous
Holy,
with
hit
the
a little
closing,
dink
and
on the
even
end as
hits
well.
the shot
21
at the
HP.
end,
How
but-
does this keep
Oh,
happening?
we've seen that one before.
No,
Avova
yeah, it's
just
exactly
gets
the
it over
same as
Yeah, Vova
the Ascent
alone
anti-eco.
as the barriers go back up, but
Down to the 1v1,
Tom,
low
that's a round
HP.
that we want to see a clean one from. I said Les could be dangerous with the Ghost. Granted, I did mention playing behind his util.
So what do they do
which he
now?
did not
Eco?
have. Instead, he walks into the site, interrupts the
Can't be
take.
forcing this one, surely. Just bonus it.
Impressive performance with just a few pistols, and
No,
even
I
from
wanna
Season
see-
there.
I
2
want to
kills
see.
and a headshot.
I want to see Sevov in a 1v1 versus Chronicle for who has the best classic. Because
Okay,
I
that-
don't know
okay.
who wins.
Batu
Maybe I
saves a
edge
lot
the
of money. If
Chronicle
anything,
just
he could have
because
got a
of
gun as well.
experience.
He was good on split.
Wait,
with
but
that
they put the
classic
all
was
into it, but they have
causing
got a
mayhem.
Bucky for it.
Big old front-
Oh god.
My goodness.
Surely we could have coordinated this a little better.
Just the information for the teammates.
Surely this can
something.
be so much better.
But,
Can I get an instant replay of the sound that Mitch just made, please?
not again.
Someone check on Safe's desk. He's going to be very annoyed by that one, because I would be.
Whoa, whoa,
what is this
whoa,
round?
whoa, whoa.
What is going on? Les has just walked and been shot from above.
Dude, wait
Kicks
for the
now back
Omen
in
flash.
position once again to try and save them here. Solid stun. But Kicks is going to hold on to position. Aftershock being sent in. Do they realize how far Avova has got? No, it seems like they've got the complete misread. They've just left.
This is such a weird round. Les, yeah, I wonder what gun model is it. Like what hand model he's using.
Someone to step out of line. Malzy almost did. Governor's been spotted well information, but look at the cost. Zvof alone against 3.
Well,
with an Odin.
Apex. Yes.
he uses left. Oh, okay, then I'm gonna fully blocked.
It's not best known for its movement.
Well, you know, Seaside could have denied the plant there. Nice little spam onto the
I mean,
head.
really rough round from Vitality. The pick over towards B is like whatever. That's unlucky. Everything else is. I mean, Apex are just taking so many times on the bonus round because it's a bonus.
Yeah, that's going to be a 3-0 start. I like the pickup of the Odin for that A disruption, but Apex's idea to take this elsewhere, fight into less, which is often a mistake, but the fact that I think it was Batu was able to thread the needle underneath, I guess just with the chaos as well that Fluorescent was causing, they weren't quite ready for a sneaky play.
It's a very weird round, and for Apex that's great. Like that's what you want when you have a few pistols, you
go.
have a few pieces missing. You want to try and make it
It
weird.
was stunning like before we got full info.
It's actually just that the stun missed. That was the reason.
Well, we're
that
stunning
looked so
before
odd.
he's
It
before
didn't
she's gone around the
connect, and I
corner.
think Fluorescent was right at the end. This was ridiculous, but then yeah, I think just we didn't see it, but the gap that was found by Batu made such a huge.
Big old front Fluorescent, my goodness! I thought maybe a flash, maybe.
I did not expect them to actually get that.
That was fast.
Even with the camera. That's
How many cams have they got for this replay machine? No one's safe.
Thanks a lot for that, BBS. Be knocking off a beer from the tally.
And I'll be adding 2.
Damn it!
Flash, stun, deep.
Start. Durka's not happy about that, but he doesn't have anything to say. Malzy with another opening duel against him. Les is the one to trade it back. Found another!
They made him angry.
Les with a pistol is popping off in every fight he's given. A 3v3 as a result with a bit of a fight back from
Instant
Batu,
reclear. This is nice from Apex
Vitality,
though.
they're not letting this one go
Don't
easily.
you get that orb?
Toxin screen down.
Orb's still there, but you can just tell that Apex are maybe a bit too nervous to take it. A complete reposition from the players on Vitality, but the idea might be to just try and wrap back around and pick up those guns. Get something to play with.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense from Vitality. You know, though they know the guns are down over towards here, so instant path is still pretty good from Batu. Trying to protect them, but it looks like they're gonna pick him up fast. And Batu has no bait on this.
As well, this round may just unravel.
I mean, it's a hell of an off angle. Should be good for one.
Well. Batu has to turn to look at it, and well, his sleep paralysis demon wasn't able to take him down. Catches kicks in time, traded out, but Les left alone. 1v2. The time, listen to how quickly the spike is ticking. And of course, with an Odin on the floor, you'd be a fool not to save that.
Double save of the Odin.
Exactly what Les will do.
Well, they're looking nice.
Demolished on their own map pick, Tom. Apex have bounced back 5 rounds in the previous map, a 4-0 start to Vitality's pick. But again, like you said, Tom, we expect rounds from Vitality on the attack. So, although it's a good start, they need to keep up with the same pace.
Yeah, I think for Vitality as well, we're actually going to see a fairly early pause. I will say, like,
come.
Yeah, I'd say as well that a lot of what we've seen so far was, okay, the pistol round that slipped away from them. I think the bonus round especially was a weird one. Where a few
Splarum, thanks so much for the tier 1. Appreciate the 13 ones. Thank you.
And the last round was obviously an eco. So I don't think they're in too much
I
of a
don't
dangerous
really
round
keep
just
up
yet,
with
but
it
for
now.
Apex, this is exactly what they need. Get a boost at the start, try and get that momentum rolling because you are literally fighting for survival. And for Vitality,
would they play? They would still play
they
Lotus.
can end the group. Not in terms of who finishes top, which is actually incredibly important. You're talking about potential of only having to win 1 game to get to Toronto, but more importantly, it would eliminate 2 teams in one foul swoop. And that's exactly what Vitality are aiming to do. It takes a lot of the pressure off, because you talk about the biggest teams, the teams at the very top. Okay, sure, you could finish near the bottom of the group and go into more of an elimination match, but once you get to playoffs, it's a different ballgame. You get a bit of a break, you get some time, you can work on different strats, you can come up for different counters.
What kind of film do you want,
week to week gives you much less opportunity. And so Vitality will want to end it here and now and have at least a little bit of breathing room.
We said they have a little bit of runway still to go with that second half.
Good one.
In the back of their minds, but Apex 4-0 beginning.
Oh boy.
Oh, great start.
That ain't great.
This time Dirk is the one that's able to find himself the opening. Being punished a lot of the time on this Neon early on. Now a 5v4. And Apex sent in the other direction. Batu again going to be sneaking his way forward. Looks like there could be some.
You strike me as the kind of guy that doesn't like comedies, though, Bacon.
That's gonna be his sneaky play.
You seem to hate fun.
On its way.
So only serious films, I guess.
Seavoff's dealing out death with another, and almost takes Governor with him. 4 versus 2 now. And denial across the map from Vitality.
Well, they have been saving the Odin, so it's nice that it actually came into play on this one.
A millimeter, and that gives an incredibly easy pickup. A stunned Odin player is a dead Odin player.
Prestige, that is a bang, yeah.
But now they wait, they pause. The remaining 2, at a minimum, wanting to try and make this one costly. The economy of Vitality, not fantastic, but they are moving in tandem as a unit, reclaiming space, slowly clearing out those angles, and well, if they eventually end up going towards that B side,
I have no idea what that is, but
will be surrounded.
Stun and salvos online for Kicks and Safe respectively. Plant just now heard. And I love this from Vitality as well. Safe doesn't go back to spawn, doesn't take this 1v1 with the Vova as so many players would.
Has a good amount of potential.
They'll move together and just clear out. They think maybe there's a lurker.
Imagine they win this 1v1.
Star play, and it was Governor.
There goes the potential.
Looking for a bit of extra space, but he's caught off with a Vova left alone, stunned, and salvos blocking him out.
Good luck.
And a bit more utility thrown his way. Yeah, there was no way for him to get
still
back
think he
into
should
that
be
site to
dueling
deny this defuse with 3 players
I think
holding
he
it.
should try and duel, but
Certain death, and in fact, Durka's running it down, looking for him, but he's gone the wrong way. So presumably that rifle is safe, and a 4-1 as Vitality find their first.
Yeah, the unfortunate truth of that round is that the Armageddon
and the late
was online
smoke
in
there
the lane,
really
so
on them.
Governor falling was an issue. That said, yeah, the stun missed by such a small amount, but that was the difference between life and death for 2 players. Wow. The yin and yang. A frustrated Danito. Odorous a little bit more smiley. Still in the lead, still in a good spot. But still with plenty of finances to
Where's
buy
the money,
back
dude?
into
Everyone has so much money with a double save. We could see a couple of buy rounds for a little bit, so we'll see how they want to handle them. Apex definitely have the advantage of the ults, though.
That's the info he needed.
The other thing is, you know,
C control. Oh, this is nice from Apex, though. Last 20 seconds, we got C control, and there's been no pressure over towards A. And they put the smoke here as well, so they create their own question mark. Drone to clear the question mark over towards A. Breed short, they're keeping it nice and simple. Breed short with the tail damage. Omen calls that everyone can go through. They got. Oh, that's unlucky. Stun close with the ult on top. It's a good idea. Oh, this is chaos. It's 3 ults, by the way, for Apex into this.
They're going to hold a lot of that positioning. Salvos for the post become almost an insta-kill, and Dirk is going to go hunting, but he's met with only demise. Molesy already clearing one. The spams through will immediately.
Oh my god, Molesy's incredible. What's going on? Bro can't see anything. He just sees a couple of spams and just spams back. Fair play, man. They keep everyone alive as well. They lost 3 armors, but they won the spam battle.
A huge boost to their economy.
Molesy just saw like 3 different traces and instantly popped them.
That's got to feel frustrating.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, once Armageddon comes into play, you can see that Les is worried about giving up all of that space on site.
See the Odin inside just looks mental, doesn't it?
They can't even be contained towards spawn if Les falls back, so he pops the ult, but it's that little bit too shallow. And because
insanely obvious to see what he said there.
Or in fact, the only ult really, I mean, Seavoff, you know,
We got
the only ult they really had to work with
low money from Vitality. 2-4 loss bonus. Ooh, we saw this before.
The perfect response from Apex, containing all that
Drone
space.
goes in, stun off the drone. Sao
goes
goes missing.
That's something. You can't really account for that. For Apex, that is a golden basket, a gift that they didn't know they would be receiving. A 5-1, a reset on the round.
Nicely done from Vitality. They create pressure over towards here. There's still 2 there.
All alone on this aggressive angle, and they're watching it. They know he can be around here, and getting out an impossibility.
Yeah, the info just not there, and that was almost too easy. Maybe expectation would normally be there's a few more.
If Safe gets a kill, he gets his ult. Teammate just came in. His teammate just jumped in and tanked the Omen flash. Pivot over towards B is pretty good here. I think Basu's gotta try take space, but I don't know how many numbers they saw on A.
Les has seen no action. He wanted the 1v1 if there was a lurker. Ult committed, luckily cancelled at the last second. Durka was rounding the corner,
yeah,
but
this whole time when I went over towards here, dude, look at him go. Moles is sending it all the way to C.
Is going to move to the C site, and Batu will try to grab a little
Damn,
bit
look
of
at these
extra
double
value.
smokes,
In fact, there's
though. The
even a
smokes are nice at
further
the
lurk
moment from
coming in
Avova.
later from Avova. They're very spread out.
Yeah.
It offers 1v1s. It offers XV1s for Vitality with less.
They might have to use the ult into it.
Full containment.
They have no idea where anyone is.
They can really be is
really.
Waterfall. So Avova's position shouldn't
shot.
be that
Absolute
much of a surprise,
shot.
but he wins the fight anyways.
And they dodge the ult. It's like an okay
plant.
plant. They can see it from Mound, right? Wait, this is sick from Apex. They're actually going to win this one? Damn, bro. Molesey's doing unbelievable at the moment.
This position, a defuse seems almost impossible. Looking to try and swing
Holy.
them together, and the trade is
Molesey deserves so much credit for what went on this one. Avova deserves a lot of it as well. Like, his smokes were really nice. They handled this, it was 3v4, right? They handled this insanely well.
From Vitality, the late rotate from Safe, Les having already pushed up and found one player outside of that A site from the C push, but they dealt with it all masterfully. And this is a hell of a difference
it's a
to what we saw
mini-series.
on the previous map, where Vitality... There it is. Wonderful stuff. Well,
he looks so savage. Like, you know,
okay, force them down to an eco. We've got to set strat with the Neon ult. Got stun, double damage, and then... okay, well... Dude, how many smoke kills we're going to see?
It's very easy to see where the player is.
Yeah, kind of hoping that you're going to shred players.
Pretense, by the way, thank you so much for the 11 months. Why are you asking that, Pretense? Come on. Leluco as well with the Prime. Thank you for the 19 months.
For the rest, not a whole lot to play with, and at least for now, Vitality have not really had a lot of success. Their
It's a valid question. It is a valid question, you're right.
It's been isolated. Their rotations have been caught and picked apart. I think Apex have done a fantastic job at segmenting the way they go through the round. Like, okay, we're going to clear this spot, we're going to take this together, we're going to make sure that the protocols are on point. And what was working for them on Ascent is failing miserably when it comes to Lotus, their map choice. Oh, Governor's trying to sell the idea that there's a bit of a ruse. You throw a drone in on one side of the map.
Does Safe get tempted to ult?
Well,
oh my god, he gets tempted to ult. They managed to dodge it. Oh boy, and they put the ult into it. Dude, it's getting worse and worse for Vitality.
Late to the party with his stinger and 3 players to pick up. Definitely not the kind of weaponry you're looking to save.
4v5.
Not the kind of weaponry you win
4v5. Their eco.
Like at least. Receive off.
And Safe use ult into it. I get it, 25 seconds left, but
it feels like he's putting up these phenomenal performances.
It's really rough here. Slay Juan, thank you so much for the tier 1. Thank you for doing that, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, well, it was 4v4. Oh yeah, I guess they got the kill first, right?
Dominant display from Apex.
Yeah, they got this kill. Yeah, you guys are right.
In this series
4v4, eco.
You'd think that this is something that Apex
25 seconds.
Deliver, if anywhere. And the fact that they
yeah, honestly, I don't think the ult's too bad. I think the peak back of sight needs to be
quick and clean
like a second later, 2 seconds later.
They are making roadblock after roadblock. You could look to Durka's swap up as potentially a reason, but I think Apex, they've just woken up, Tom.
There, I mean, they just look.
From this season,
They just look better on this map.
My favorite by far.
Vitality not been really struggling on Lotus when we watch him.
The guy who's just happy
I feel like every time we watch him on Lotus, they struggle.
A lot of damage on the server as well. Saying that, Molesy currently topping it. 12 and 5 while playing the breach. Has been a standout so far. He flew the stat that Floor was the one being assisted the most, but it seems like the assistor has taken over.
Okay, we have Molesy. Oh, that's 3. Oh boy. Yeah, Les has done incredibly well on this.
A punish onto Fluorescent and an opening pick for Vitality.
This is one of those. This is one of those where you have like an original plan, barrier down, but honestly, with the info, you should probably not do it. But I don't know. They saw 3 with a Yoru ult. Maybe the timing was a bit off, but still.
Happy to play super aggressive. Of course, someone who has been on that duelist role in the past. Utility so far hasn't connected. He goes in front of
he did it. Unbelievable.
2 quick picks.
Takes down the Viper as well. It's the Viper wall over towards B main. I don't massively love the after plant positions from Apex.
Look at the amount of utility that's still remaining.
But that is.
Instead, a little bit of body
damn, dude.
It
was a great stun from Molesy. I think Molesey's having an absolute half, by the way.
I love that. You know there's someone else close by, but he still takes the time to just lay into the player he took down.
Wait, what happened? I was watching the minimap. Did he start spamming bodies?
Apex again, look, it might hit, but less hits harder. I don't know how he does that. You know, first bullet accuracy, I'll give him that, but it was the 3rd shot in the spray.
Mid-round body spam.
Making it work. This takes down Kicks and
dude, that's outrageous, bro.
Those Kicks flashes in the last map.
Batu started shooting this guy's body in the middle of the round.
I love that as well, though.
That's
some
messed
seem to be upset,
up.
like, dude, you almost threw it. Floor's just laughing, like, what are you doing?
She said, no, man. Like, it's almost like your kid when they're being naughty. Like, it's like, no, stop that.
Wait till
That's
after
rude. That's rude.
Wait till dinner. You've finished your dinner to have your dessert. Come on.
Oh, a mid-round dessert for Batu,
boy.
and well, an early round headshot for Les.
Yeah, but he kind of messed up there.
As said, coming into this series, even with the slip-up versus Fnatic, I expected this to be a solid display.
Okay, that's nice from Vitality, though. Fair play. Duck has done a lot here. Once they realized they had lost A pressure as well, insta-clear of this, make sure that Les can go back to the line, and one way to set it up.
This has been a phenomenal performance, no matter what we think of Vitality's attack side. One round ain't going to be
Good
enough.
overlay, dude.
It shouldn't be.
Thank you so much.
Durka, well, he's got the clone.
There we go. Thank you for that.
See if he can take down the man himself. Batu and Molesy in a firing squad waiting
Elizabeth,
for
thank
that
you for
peek, a
that.
stun, or perhaps a flash. It is indeed ready and waiting, and Durka's down to 4. Got support from up top if they swing wide, but as C-Buff goes down, there's no need to. There's no
Look at the
pressure
damage done, though.
as
The round's
players
just done,
keep
right?
falling on Vitality's side. Les and Durka desperately low, and Governor takes full advantage of that. From this point, 8-1 down, economy on the brink. And a 2 versus 4, it's tempting to go for.
I think you two have got a save.
Either way, there's reasons behind the call. With Kicks finding that, though, I think that will spur them forward. Push on the back of the stun. Les with a big opportunity. That's a 2nd pickup. But the timer is ticking. And the spike set to explode very soon.
How have they won this? It's a 2v4. It's a 2v4. One of them's 20 HP.
For Vitality.
I say as well, when looking at this team, when seeing changes are being made
2
to the
on
squad,
site,
a
2
lot of
tree.
people look to Kicks as that player that could be let go. I feel like at times, yeah, this guy has been not only the glue of the squad, but then you go back to the last map in particular, and he was almost the carry. Like, everybody had a
Why
good
did he
map.
jump around the corner when his teammates can protect him from tree and get the trade no matter what?
He was the distraction. That's the worst part. The whole point of his peak there was to give distraction to Les to get both kills.
No, honestly, that actually is very justified with what went on.
4 for him in the round. A 2nd on the board.
Tell you what though, the outwall's pretty nice here.
The
people that can get one shot, they try and force through, they miss the drone.
1 round won't be enough. 4 rounds, a pistol, maybe without it even. There's a good chance for Vitality, and that's a confidence builder of a round, certainly. for Kicks. And let's see as well what Durka has planned on the attack side when it comes to this Neon. For Apex, they gotta keep going, keep pushing forward. 2 rounds left to play for in the half. If they can get to 10, it looks like they'll make it all the way to Haven. But if it's an 8-4 half, it's anyone's guess. And with elimination on the line for Apex, there's no room to leave things up to chance.
Well, there's one of them.
Delivers onto Safe immediately, an opening for the Outlaw. And they will look to just coagulate, push as a squad into that A site by the looks of things. Wherever they go, let's hope they do it together.
Safe has been having a rough old time.
Okay, they don't really have any options though, right? All 5 locked in here, just have the A hit, pick up the orb, get the orb back a site clear one way.
Quite a few of these rounds, it
no, just smoke heaven.
Like a great game for him so far.
Dude, Teo is so insanely strong. Look at what just happened.
Rifles available. Well, straight away,
nice shots, nice shots, bro. Dude, oh my god, he's shooting bodies again as well. Wait, this was actually pretty legit. The second shot was really nice, and then the movement's really good on the 4th.
It's only less
it's unlucky.
his way, and he will block the ace attempt. Even still, though,
dude, the Teo stuff's too strong here. To force over towards a site, like you can't stand back a site.
This was phenomenal. Opening pick.
That's a nice shot.
Gorgeous. Little jump peek from Safe. He doesn't even get to see around the corner, and he's sent into the dirt.
Just quick scoping.
Though. Unbelievable. Thank you for the slow-mo. It still looks impressive. And then
that movement's wild as well.
He his weapon so he couldn't take it out.
My boy.
Just goes for the shorty instead.
This is your so currently your Viper player.
And look at this last buy.
Just going
we had
nuts.
2 stomps on maps.
Halsey's 5-0 in opening duels as well, and a lot of those have been onto Durka. Yeah, normal for your breach.
Normal for your breach IGL support.
And Mosey's playing great.
They've been punishing.
I feel like we said his name about 10 times already.
Can't you just be normal? Oh, 9-2.
Watching here.
Viper's pit utilized. I think that was a weapon switch as well. Making sure you have the stinger.
How did he?
Within that.
How did he miss?
Shroud of smoke and allow the further aggression. Safe is getting just caught every single time. They're not realizing the ground that's being given up. They have struggled around this A site just with Batu being a menace. But that is just ridiculous.
That's his own fault.
To walk all the way up, and as I said, they're completely unaware of what they've lost.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't path right with the drone.
It's a big risk, and he's just waiting outside of the pit, letting them have the space. Of course, they could have walked up behind.
He just went like this.
He
just went like this, and
they couldn't have walked up behind through the spawn because look at the stack up from Vitality. They've got numbers ready and waiting.
It's both lessers easy kills.
They get caught from both sides with a big pinch. Vitality have left it all onto Batu.
Oh, he's not got time. 11 seconds. I think at this stage, just throw everything in the kitchen sink at them. But what is even the plan here? Just try and pad the stats a little?
There is no plan.
I think that's about it. Doesn't even have the spike. Well, it will be the time that ends up doing the work. Vitality have garnered a tiny bit of additional hope.
3 in a pistol, maybe.
9-3. Yeah, for Apex, this seems like the bounce back.
Honestly, nah, not honestly. This was a really rough half for Vitality. They got wrecked.
More rounds in the second half. That's coming up after the break.
Molsey secured so many rounds there. Did the Outlaw get nerfed? Yeah, it shoots too fast. You put the damage down to 125 just for like those 2% rounds where it would make a difference, whether it's like wall bangs or anything like that, and then you just increase the time in between the shots. It's just too strong. Way too strong. But it took teams a long time to realize it was strong as well, so it's not like it's Riot's fault, I guess, for it being in the state that it's in. Team should have just used it earlier. the Viper power. The other smokers are just a little bit better on attack normally. And the whole B spam thing isn't as prevalent these days.
Coming out of the side of Apex, of course, we know with this map that there is always
I
potential.
think LRG can pull it back. Would you class as pulling it back? I think they can beat Lev.
Attack side that came out of the side of
But I think it pretty much stops
That's
there.
what we're looking for here from Vitality, and we know that for them this is their favored side of the map. Not quite the same case with G2.
3 rounds though, Tom. Is it going to be enough? It's quite the comeback.
They need a pistol. I think that'll be, if they win the pistol, I genuinely believe they can turn this. So again, you talk back to the Fnatic game, I'm looking at that as a blip, but throughout the history of this map for them over the last few months, they have looked very good on the attack side.
Well, one of the things you said, I can't even remember if it was on or off air, but you said that Apex unlucky to be facing Vitality when they're that wounded dog, when they're in the corner. Well, Apex, they're in the same boat, facing elimination and 1 map away. So they come in swinging, but Vitality doing just the same. Malsey, he's been there in the opening picks. A little late to the party on this one, but a double puts them back in contention. 2 versus 3. Avova and Malsey watching from the death cams, and they're saying, well, we would have won this. Now it's
Oh boy, everyone's out here jumping.
You can do the
Wait.
same, and Fluorescent answers the challenge. Kicks versus
Wasn't the
2.
POV we were
odds
on.
back in
So
Apex's
good.
favor.
Surprised Vitality even go for that. You already had a player advantage. You get the spike down, you play post. I feel like this is done. They wanted to get ahead of the curve. They wanted to turn it. Instead, it's left on to Kicks.
Instant
He has been
reposition.
clinical
Very
already,
nicely
and will
handled.
convert this
Might get
round as
close.
well. A Red Bull clutch to give them the pistol, but as I said, I don't think
These
they should have needed
breaches.
it.
No, none at all. It looked like a round that should have been theirs already. A big play by Fluorescent gave them an opportunity by Malsey as well.
It's the Breach Viper game. It's so weird.
Well, the Viper I can see, right? There's especially less if you're pushing into his util, which a lot of the time he's got
that's
success
nice.
pushing them. But for Malsey to have a performance like this, 17 and 8. Listen, we talk about Fluorescent, we talk about Batu.
Gimme!
We're back, bro.
But at the end of the day, Malsey is the one lighting up the server here. 9-4. A gap of 5.
A bit of a change up from
Vitality
Apex.
with the
Aggro
pistol.
over towards.
Mages
I
have
tell you what, they
given
go aggro over
themselves a
towards C,
lifeline
and
and a
we
chance to
don't really have
put
anyone that
Apex
hears any of
into that
this.
freshly dug
They
grave.
might be a little
Playoffs
bit
will be
faster
out
behind
of
them than
their
they
hands.
think.
And out of the realms
See how
of
fast they go
possibility
here.
If they go 0-4.
Open door, create pressure like they're gonna split B, but as we can see, they've
That's just
cleared
one
this
away.
B info.
I think Pipson has never rooted this much for Apex in his entire
Oh, that's a
life.
great jump peak though. Still 2.
The GX tournament survival also on the line here. With everybody in Group A, the top 4 locked if Vitality managed to win this game. And I know you look at this scoreline, you'll sit there and think, okay, Apex, they're very far ahead. They just need a few rounds here and there, but we have seen many a time on the attack side of this map.
Mate, how's
Still does
Malsey
well,
winning
though.
that anyway in the
Another
first
round.
place?
But the problem is they ain't got the rifles, they ain't got any weaponry
Okay,
to
very
fight with
nice.
afterwards.
Ducker kicks
Still,
relatively close to the
I think
ropes.
this might be the most opening duels I've seen a Breach involved with since Angel tried that agent out.
You said opening duels, not one opening duels.
That's
right?
why I said
okay.
just
I was about to
opening
say the only other one I'd say if you go back in the tape, quite a while, Kesnit did actually play Breach,
Right, okay.
and I would gamble that he has more.
I'd say
and he won more. We'll see. If you're gonna go back through those stats, you might have to be scrolling a while. I believe it was on Fracture. If you want to, I can give you a map.
I'm out of here.
I'll probably take a look after the game, Tom. That might take a while to
It's
sift
fine.
through.
We got nothing else to do.
Maybe some of the people at home can let us know.
Yeah, what are they
Like I said,
talking
I
about?
think that's 6-0 in opening duels for Malsey so
It's
far.
pretty good.
Are they talking about opening duels?
Not bad
Dude,
at all. He was there on the attack and he's
I
there
don't want to bring up
even in
Scream
the
again,
previous
but I
round.
swear
They're
Scream's
on the
breach
defense
stats are
with
like
9 to
40
5.
first kills
Gap
to like 1
closes.
first death or
Vitality
something.
come into this round.
I swear his, I swear his
Talk about
breach
that third
stats are
round,
crazy.
oftentimes is somewhere that the team that lost the first 2, they have the advantage. Well, let's see if I can do this right. That's all. That's okay.
He's got some
Got
mad
4
ones.
rifles.
I was expecting this. I swear he's got some mad
Who's
breach
coming in
stats
with,
out there.
with a bit of a weakness.
Unless he's randomly played it
That's
again.
interesting. I wonder did they
He's
lose
30
a
to
gun or
0,
not?
fast kills,
'Cause
fast death
I
for
see
Scream
Dirk
for
with extra
breach.
credits.
Yeah,
Maybe
dude,
they're
his breach is
the
crazy.
operator.
Poison's off.
He did. He got so flamed for the breach, but actually his breach is kind of going.
Has a supportive stun ready and raring to go. Immediately utilize. Avova will pull out the util, but it doesn't matter. Durka, I think even while stunned, has just
Jigsaw with the
away
prime. Thank you for the 16 months.
That aggressive
Dude, he's got the ult. He's got the unlimited first kill KD. Can't be beaten.
The flashes for the retake. They've caught Malzy though. He ends up going down. Kicks the one to get that trade, but Fluorescent quickly on him. 3 versus 2.
Rough though. It's like
some battle scars.
What is the plan here?
Reposition from Fluorescent sends them running 12 seconds. They need to get this plant in soon. Batu, well, he's not going to be in a position to deny it. It looks like that plant will be secured. A nice reposition from Vitality gets them a 3v2. And again,
the plan is to live, yeah, but
as time keeps on rolling, salvos come back online. They're now there to play.
Oh my goodness. Well, as we can see, it's a masterclass.
And now less is all that's remaining. Normally cool as a cucumber in these clutch scenarios, and already gets rid of Batu. An isolated fight, a creation of his own doing. Left onto Fluorescent, a chance to get them to double digits. Less playing so passively and down to just a slither of HP. Fluorescent will manage to find the pick.
Okay, nice, fair play. That's the whole plan with the ult. Just survive because Batu's gonna do everything.
We'll hit 10.
Talking about economy management though, Vitality have done a great job. Remember, this was round 3 of the half.
Yeah, it was close though.
They came in still with a good amount of weapons, and they're able to bring it down to a narrow margin. That is going to hit home for Apex, as now some players struggle to get a decent buy in this, and Vitality have a chance to fight their way right back into things.
My consistent critique though of this team throughout the map is they are over-aggressive. Yeah, over-aggressive in advantages.
3v2, salvos coming online in like 3 seconds, and you push up close. Yeah.
I understand it. You want to try and catch someone off guard and end the round, but when you already have an advantage, like if it was the other way around and they're 2v3,
you gotta do it.
Absolutely fine. That's what you should be doing. But when you have an advantage and solid util for post, doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
One of those 5 rounds in Ascent as well. The big comeback that Apex were able to manage with Malzy and Avova in the pistol, and that was
the money
because
at? So
players
they
were going up close,
eco after winning. Sure. Eco after winning, let's see how much damage they can do. With one of the hero guns, they set one up over towards B. They have no info about this, really. Okay, great to get one. Got one, got a lot of information. I'm very surprised these two don't smoke and replay this. Especially with the smoke.
Normally good for one, although I think realizing the timing wasn't going to work in his favor.
Oops.
Oh, the timing did work in Malzy's favor, and an uncharacteristic whiff in this map at least. Governor's repositioned, looking to try and delay them any pressure onto the B site. Well aware of that potential. Rolling Thunder even going to be used here. Vitality wants to keep this one.
The ult saved him to get out of there. There's salvos on him. It's a really hard retake because both of the guns they dropped are just impossible. Well, not impossible to get, but miles away or impossible to get.
And look how aggressive they are.
Wait.
2 players up close. Paranoia. All
They're gonna pick up a gun.
To bring that into Apex's favor.
They might be able to pick up 2 guns.
A weapon to be recovered as well, and a chance for these defenders. Apex, they're looking to capitalize on mistakes yet again. But it's still an uphill battle. Ult activated by Durka, spamming through, just looking to tag him up, but we've seen the fire go back in the other direction.
Dude, as the smoke was going down, nicely done from Durka.
Vitality right back into winning ways, and coming off the back of that round 3 reset, Apex.
It's a shame. He kind of played it well. They were waiting for the salvos, but
fully invested into this round. But they came in with a lot of weaknesses. That gives them at least one opportunity to fight back.
Yeah, they didn't invest too much. A decent round for them.
I mean, Apex didn't invest too much. Vitality definitely did. We got a breach or Neon ult.
Many players were dropped, but I actually believe that Durka getting that 4K is so much more important.
Okay, Apex will love this. Apex will love what just happened there. Low buy, they had to do some damage. They did some damage. They got 2 ults out of them. Now,
so much more than just, okay, we kept 4 alive. And there you go again. Straight off the back with a pick. This man is feeling it now.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, Full's been baited in pretty heavy with that.
Ooh, that's a mistake.
The freebie.
And Fluorescent punishes, that's what they needed. A way back in. For Apex, they're putting their credits into this round. They won round 3, lost the previous, but that was a gamble that they could take
Similar round to before.
elimination in the back of their minds.
Mosey gets a kill.
Durka again, up close. This time he gets ahead of that retake, wants to fight them, knowing that utility would come his way. Now backs off, and they'll play that late round.
Yeah, this is what we wanted to see for a while.
Yeah, this is nice from Vitality though. They create a lot of pressure close here, so they got to use all their util here, but they're actually playing full spike after plant. They still have salvos.
They need to clear these players so ridiculously fast.
Oh, that
Timing
is...
for less. Could it be worse? Wanted to jump spot the angle. Aftershock has been used. Stun from Kicks. Needs
Hey, the
find
wide
flanks, and only gonna
swing.
get the one. It's left all on to safe. That time is ticking so fast. I don't know if they've got this anyway. I think that spike might be going. No,
Oh my goodness, those 3 go down as well.
Spike wins the Red Bull clutch for the Vitality
Yeah,
side.
just calm with the salvo timing.
There was a bit of panic there. He could see it in Safe's eyes. He was like, do I need to spam? Do I need to get him? Have I thrown? But no, the salvos, and this is the difference.
Could they have got on it earlier? Maybe.
Apex won this half. We saw that salvo comes online, they get aggressive. They
Still what
lose
we were
their
talking
salvos,
about
they
came
lose
into
their
play,
post
right?
by
Going
util, and
aggro,
it's a
then leaving the
narrow
space,
margin by
play
which they
time.
lose to Fluorescent, taking down less. Well, this time they had their util, and that was the difference maker. They even got on it as quickly
Nah,
as they could.
they couldn't do anymore. Yeah, he would have died.
Burst of the salvo, but it wasn't enough. A fraction of a second.
Dude, the replay system's sick, man. The replay guys in the EMEA, it's crazy how much better it is than other regions.
Hero rifle purchased in an attempt
Like
to
every
try and do
answer,
damage.
everything that's important into the round, we actually get replayed.
Governor on 100 credits. He's been pretty decent with the pistol, I will say, but they really wanted to try and make this round as costly as possible. Avova has retrieved that gun, and I guess with a couple of ultimates online, and if Fluorescent had got a pick, could have put the dimensional drift in a good position. Vitality, though, just good orb management. They're just rotating across the map to pick up whatever orbs they can find, and they will then fall back.
See you soon. Thank you so much for the tier 1, bro. I appreciate the 18 months. Thank you for doing that. Timing? Timing's pretty good. Gun down creates a lot of pressure over towards here, so now maybe it'll be like a 1-3. You would imagine if they go here. I like this from Governor. He takes a risk. He gets rewarded with it. Picks up a gun as well. And he's locked him in.
They go together. Another rifle to be recovered. And a real
They're going to
chance
push here
for
thinking there
Apex
might be a
in
lot
this
here,
round.
right?
The Rolling Thunder even going to be committed.
My goodness, breach all early. Dude, the salvos here, surely. Governor salvos into a kill. Oh my god, dude, 1 kill is going to be so big. No. No. Oh no, dude, it could have been so good for Apex. It went so wrong.
Just in time, they got site control. They had the flank. They had
Les did incredible.
seconds to get a plant in. Less with the time it takes to get the plant. And it crumbles so quickly.
It crumbled so fast. All you had to do is get 1 kill.
Those last 2.
I don't know what's happening, but I don't care.
Same, honestly. I can see it all on the map and still stay a messy round.
Here's the guy that got home and flashed as well, and there's just a randomly a guy behind him with him.
And you can see that the pause is being called because Apex have now had a couple of opportunities. The last coming down to 0.29 seconds. This one coming down to 10 seconds with no planting. They've had moments. They've had chances. But it's starting to slip away from them. And you have to then bring back in the context of what this means. Elimination on the line.
Well, Tom, you might think the graphics have messed up in a moment. The timeout now for Apex as they take a moment realizing how important this coming round is. They have ult economy to invest. They have actual economy to invest. And an operator, presumably from what we can see, to be brought through. But then, on the other side, they also acknowledge how important this is. Streaking rounds together and knowing that Apex are about to fight their way back. So Vitality call a timeout. Both teams.
Double?
Them in the same moment. This, if anything, symbolizes how big of a round is coming.
The red double timeout.
Like a 2-second gap where they're not allowed to talk.
Mike's muted.
Mike's right, we're back. Okay, carrying on anyway, what I was saying. Or they just started like a whole new pause. Right, guys, after that last pause, we didn't really get to do what we were hoping for, so...
The worst case scenarios, they were just in the middle of, and then that is where you're gonna...
And most importantly...
And that's how we win the round.
And most importantly, do not forget, Right, guys, good to go. We'll see you back in the next pause. And if you, oh, my mic's still live. Or just like the worst one would be just turning to your coach next to your assistant coach. Oh, I think they're screwed. Oh, my mic came back. Oh, sorry, guys.
Dude, I had I had this happen once where they forgot to mute my mic and I was flaming Soulcast.
The other guys, yeah.
And then Yampy with mid-game was like, we can hear you. Slingy, we can hear you. Slingy, we can hear you.
Waffle time is over.
That's funny.
10-8.
Why do you have to say that, Tom?
Vitality. I mentioned it when they won the pistol. This game
Dude, it was like proper LAN. It was one of the Masters. It was either Masters or Champs. It was split. Something on
This is the
split.
best chance Apex have had on their defense.
And I mean, you look at the change though for Vitality. They're winning the late round clutches that they need to. The tighter rounds swing their way. Durka in the early
What was
round
Dom's
had a lot of
reactions? I used to
success
flame
in
everyone. They were
opening
used to it.
duels. He almost had another there. The gate crash saves Fluorescent, but it doesn't save the B site. Overrun. The big ulti put into play. Durka's caught. He can
Incredible.
run. He can move fast, and luckily,
Isn't it incredible? How's Governor killed himself? What's going on? He's ulted himself. That's a new one.
They'll wish they didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't even a martyrdom. Didn't take anyone
Because in
with
theory,
them.
this
Just
ult is so
eliminated
good for
himself.
B,
Alright, I've had
but
enough, I'm out.
there ended up being a
And now
gap
the Vipers
here.
pit down on the site. Wait, look how spread out the Apex players are. There isn't a way back into this. That
Dude,
is
they save
brutal.
instantly. Oh god, it's such a demoralizer.
I'd love
They,
for them to have
they
that
both called a
pause now.
timeout.
That you have that
Everyone
full
calls a
talk,
timeout. You got
2
2 minutes to talk about
from
it.
Danito, and then
And
the
he's
first
ulted
thing that
himself.
happens is
There must have been
Governor
a
kills himself.
stun.
He's like,
There must have been some kind of
"That wasn't
stun
anything
from
I said."
Durka and he can't get out, right?
I
That's
don't think I
brutal.
called that one. Yeah,
But the ult was definitely in the wrong
it's tough as well, Tom, because
place, or are they
typically you're gonna
okay with
laugh
this
those
gap?
moments off, right? You're
But
gonna
don't you
say,
want
like,
to
"Ah,
salvo
it's all good,
this?
I messed up. Oh no. But this is elimination on the line. This is not somewhere that we can.
Oh my.
Oh, I wish we didn't replay that.
Oh
I
my.
really wish we didn't replay that.
Oh my god, what?
He's got the memory of a goldfish. Did you see? Put the ult down and went. There's an ult here. What's going on?
Why didn't anyone call? He was ulting. Oh.
Oh.
Well, get past the salvos early. Lots of space taken by Vitality. Now Apex get a reset because they saved all those weapons successfully. They can at least shrug off that last round somewhat, but they come in without Governor's ultimate, but with Governor, which is
Well,
a
hopefully
little
their
bit of an
coach's
upgrade.
mic's muted as well.
Fight starts off with
Someone,
someone
someone will be flaming that,
but
that's
it's
for sure.
Fluorescent to take down Durka. At least the saving grace that we're back to even footing.
I thought you were going to say the Governor doesn't have his ult online. Savior for him. Fluorescent. Oh, it's close.
Tough angle.
Come in and get anything done. Kick's making sure that they know he's planting. He's now a couple away from having
Wait,
the
but this
ultimate
one looks good. What's the timing like on his
Less.
peak? Did he jump? Did he see when the jump spot?
No, he's not seen a
good
Vogel.
timing.
Timing here is going to be absolutely everything. Oh, he still wins the battle. Governor
Still
has at
wins
least managed
this?
to get rid of safe. They'll keep things
Oh god.
at least within the realm of possibility, but clearing these players from position is not going to be easy. Aftershock used to buy them time, but also counted out on the other side.
the
A lot
molly
of
missed.
damage being done. Snakebite goes through,
Oh
but
god,
I
the
don't
molly
think it's
missed.
actually gone far enough.
No
It's not
way.
gone deep enough.
No
They're
way.
able to just defuse in
good
front
spam.
of it. Seabuff, though, is there
Damn,
to save
all
the
three
day.
with the spam?
From
That's just
the
showing off, if
backlines,
anything.
10-10. And we are
Dude,
starting
his
to
ult
see
as well, he
Apex
should have gone down if anything.
dwindle.
I don't understand if maybe they were hit by the snakebite, made vulnerable, but one player was low, the rest. Seabuff, you've got some explaining to do. What key did you just hit?
Oh,
What
is that?
Man, that's ridiculous.
What is that?
The first jump fine because he hits his head. He's back on the floor in no time. He jumped again. And one
That's
mag, 3-man spray down. I want to hear, unmute that right this second.
What has he
What
done
did
on
he
this
say?
round?
How good's your friend?
Get the, not good enough, whatever he just said. Bring out, I need Seabuff interview. I don't care who the interview is. That was ridiculous.
That was.
What a round, man. And to
that was
equalize
stupid.
you, to put you
Okay,
10
double
to
punish
10,
over
to
towards B
hammer
though.
home the elimination
Okay.
that Apex are worried about.
Sure.
And Kicks with the trade. Sure, Durka goes down, but this isn't like the first half where he falls and that's it. nothing to be said. No, there's an immediate response. And on the attack, much better to get those one-to-one trades than when you're on the defense. The map, especially this one, 3 sites. You've now got to cover it with 4 players. And they can push together on one side, leaving a lurk of less. But he spotted 2 and jump peeks it again. He is a brave and bold man.
Well, to be honest, everything he's done so far has worked. 18 and 12. Kicks up there with him. Rolling Thunder set up. It's only a Vova it could connect on, who could escape. And there's the lurk of Les striking again. Governor gone. Fluorescent trades. Well, Vova's going to try and stick this one out. It's definitely risky, but he will be unstunned, but not unblinded.
Oh boy, here we go.
Wow.
He's got that confidence.
Okay. Well, we saw the stats at the beginning of the day about how maybe his performance
You've seen
last
this before.
week didn't quite match up to the performance he had in the first week. I'll look at the stats now. 15 and 16. You might be thinking, oh, this has been a bit of an average game. Last 2 rounds, he has been carrying.
But that's the thing, man. I mean, look, also living up to your first week performance with a performance like his is tough, but this is a timeout from Apex, the last timeout that we will see in regulation as we hit 11 to 10. As we continue to see the stall out from the defensive side.
Yeah, last timeout for them.
Rounds in a row. And I'm glad they
A
called that pause.
9-3
Tom,
half
about
into
to
11-10.
hit the admins up myself and call a technical pause. Someone check his PC. What's happened? He is phenomenal.
That's why he said, why you pause? He wants to keep this momentum going. Like, I wonder if that was a C-Wolf momentum breaker, because you've already had less kicks, Durka coming alive. Okay, Safe's having a rougher time, but you add C-Wolf, it's done. It's over. And well, unfortunately, it is starting to look that way.
Yeah, who said on the desk, I think it was Meg, that she's a hater of Safe Sova. I can't wait to see what she says about his Tejo, but then again, maybe she'll have more to say about Governor's Tejo.
I think Meg's just a hater in general. You know?
Yeah, always has been, always will be.
Always so mean to me, all the time.
Yeah, that's what you don't know, behind the scenes. Awful no, I'm kidding.
No.
We love Meg. Meg, you're awesome. We love you. I'm sorry. 11 to 10.
No, I'm kidding.
Whoa,
moving swiftly on.
Tranquilo.
Low by for Apex.
Oh, another, a third timeout from Apex. Now, of course, that is us out of timeouts. No more time to touch base with the coaching staff. Vitality have taken the lead 6 rounds in a row. Until OT. In regulation. Sorry, I forgot to say this time.
Potentially.
And look at what Apex are coming into this round with.
Isn't there like a trap play you can do with this comp for ecos?
But that would
Surely.
be 7 in a row for Vitality by that point. Durka, he is unrelenting.
Oh my.
That stun, the blind, it's all caught him and he wins. He wins anyways, yeah.
Yeah, he also got hit then by a paranoia.
Must be a better
as if
eco they can
Governor
come up
wasn't
with.
being stunned by everything, then also left blind.
Maybe these
then
two as a
going to the
combo?
ASA. They've walked away, less happy to just try and hit the timing shot, but ultimately, I was going to say
Like damage, spot,
It's
stun.
not exactly another opening duel for Malzy, but it's a huge
They could definitely come up
upgrade
with
as a
better
rifle
ecos
can
than
now be
these.
recovered. And Apex can approach this
Tell you what,
together,
though,
but look at Vitality. We've seen them
this wasn't
hold
too
heaven.
bad.
We've seen them
It's a
peak
shame
heaven,
that
and now they push heaven.
a
The
Vova
evolution
isn't
of this
expecting this.
aggression and the success that's going to come with it, we can see plain as day. It's free for Durka. 3 picks, and Malzy returns. He's given the rifle over to Fluorescent, understandably. But his Sheriff is the one doing all the damage. And in fact, it needs to do it all with
Shame, man.
C-Wolf
Malzy's having
standing
a-
in his way.
having a good game
12
overall.
rounds. Vitality was a certainty.
It was
This is what I
9-3
was
and now
worried
it's
about.
12-10.
Obviously, you
This
look
is
at
devastating
9-3
for them.
half.
They're
You
getting-
look back to matches where teams
getting
have
so
turned
wrecked.
it around and you don't believe that will be happening to you, but this is why Vitality are so confident and comfortable with picking this map. They're so good at this attack side, and yeah, the Governor was so screwed, but I do kind of like that. I was very worried about a lot of the aggression they were pulling off, but I like this time where it's Durka at the helm. Like, send him in, let him be disruptive. If he goes down, it's not so much of an issue. And already, early take of this A-site control. From 9-3 down to 12-10 up. There's been 1 round since that dominant first half for Apex. They need 2 to stay
what's going
in
on with
with
this
a
dog?
chance of playoffs.
Getting so wrecked. Free sight as well. Drone clears everything. They got Neon ult if they want it.
Putting his heart and
Malzy
soul
1
into
kill away
this,
from
trying
that
to
ult.
keep
That's about
his
it.
know he's there.
chances of
Spam
playoffs
is
alive.
pretty decent here.
Eventually, that aggression, you know, it's been one up
Okay, how does
every
Durka
time.
react to this? Just
They're
runs back
very
to
ready
site,
for
right?
it. He will be sent backwards 5v5 still. Ult
Dude,
for Durka,
they gotta go
ult for Seavoth,
fast.
maybe used late for info.
They're up against salvos still.
It's the salvos that Safe is keeping deep into their spawn. It's the stun that will be online to meet them. Kicks' utility has been nigh on perfect so far already.
Nice
the numbers thinning out.
It was pretty nice though from Durka. He did the right thing. Salvos are going pretty early.
But the spike now being tapped in goes the snake bite denial again, and they're forced into the angle. The waiting arms
dude, this
of
afterplan is just
Vitality
way too
wrap
strong for them to
around
play like
and
this.
squeeze any life
Nicely done
out
from
of
Vitality.
Apex's
Really rough
chances
defense,
for
but
playoffs.
the attack was
The
lovely.
super team has left them in the dust.
That loss, yeah, it's gonna be rough for Apex. These ones always feel the worst.